There are big ambitions for this big site near Cambridge's Adam Brooks Hospital, Amelia. The plan is to turn this into the world's leading centre for medical research and the development of new drugs. Part of that plan includes AstraZeneca, the British pharmaceutical firm, investing £300 million and taking over this plot just behind me. But tonight there are concerns that that plan could be at risk if the American pharmaceutical giant Pfizer takes the company over. It set its sights on AstraZeneca because of its expertise and research into potentially future valuable new drugs. Amy Bates at home in Peterborough. At 21, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Part of her treatment included a relatively new drug called Zoladex.
They said to me one of the biggest things that it would help with was, because obviously of my age and I haven't got children so far, it would help to protect my ovaries so that I would be able to hopefully have children in the future.
That drug is one of many developed by the British pharmaceutical firm AstraZeneca. Last year it revealed plans to move 2,000 jobs to Cambridge. Its global headquarters and research teams will be based on the new biomedical campus being built here. But with the American drugs giant Pfizer looking determined to take over the company, could that plan be looking a little shaky? Some people are worried.
What Pfizer are doing is putting that at risk, and I would want to hear very clearly from Pfizer what their intention would be about our site, and I'd like to know that that is definitely going to go ahead. It should do. The attractions Cambridge has as a centre for R&D with our world-leading hospitals, our world-leading researchers, our world-leading companies, is a firm attraction.
For now, AstraZeneca has rejected the approach by Pfizer. In a statement, it said the board remains confident in AstraZeneca's strategy as an independent company. That includes establishing a research centre and HQ in Cambridge by 2016. That assurance has been welcomed by local business leaders.
We can't obviously comment on the detail of the commercial things, but we are very keen to make sure that Cambridgeshire retains its place as the place to go, the place to be for the biotech industry. And certainly we've seen a lot of interest around that, and we're very much looking forward to AstraZeneca moving on to the biomedical campus.
So as two giants of the pharmaceutical world square up to each other, at stake could be millions of pounds of investment and thousands of jobs right here in Cambridgeshire. Developers of the Cambridge Biomedical Campus have told us in a statement that they are proceeding with the project as planned. Indeed, just today, plans to build a brand new private hospital and a 4-star hotel have been given the go-ahead. Now, although AstraZeneca doesn't want to be taken over, Pfizer could still do it in a hostile way, leaving many concerns and questions unanswered this evening.
Well, someone who can perhaps answer some of those questions is Martin Possel, Director of Cambridge Healthcare and Biotech. Now, your job is to advise pharmaceutical and biotech companies across the world. So can I ask you what your advice might be to AstraZeneca at the moment?
Well, my advice to AstraZeneca employees is don't take your eye off the ball, it's business as usual. I would have thought that Cambridge as a centre for R&D would be as attractive to Pfizer as it is to AstraZeneca. Perhaps they wouldn't want as many jobs here, but certainly Cambridge is, after all, it's the centre of gravity for biotechnology in Europe.
So you don't think then that if Pfizer do take over, that spells the end of the investment in the biomedical campus?
No, I think it would make a few people nervous. It would certainly make the developers nervous, and it would certainly make the AstraZeneca employees quite rightly nervous. But I don't think it would be the end of the development, and I certainly don't think it would be the end of Pfizer having a significant and even more significant research presence in Cambridge than they already have.
Because, of course, we heard Julian Hubbard in that report talk about everything that Cambridge has to offer,
yep.
And the city does have a lot to offer when it comes to companies like that.
Absolutely, it's not just the hospital, the university. In fact, if you talk about the access between Cambridge and London, that's really European biotech. There's very little outside that.
I mean, the main implication, I think the thing that everyone's getting nervous about here is, of course, jobs. But the implications could go further than that, couldn't they?
Yes, for example, I'm a governor at Salisbury Village College, and we've been talking about what we're hopefully going to be doing to open our doors to the families of AstraZeneca people who are moving down into the area to show them our
So you've already
school.
been thinking and planning for this?
Absolutely.
Well, let's put it this way. When might we know either way?
Well, quite soon. I believe that the magic date is the 26th of May, when Pfizer have to either up their offer or get out, to sort of put up or pull out under UK stock market rules.
And how significant is this investment here in Cambridge to the bigger picture that Pfizer is looking at?
To be honest, it's probably not one of the main reasons that they're looking at. The main reason that Pfizer is looking at this are tax reasons. They have an awful lot of offshore cash, which they will have to pay significant tax on if they move it back into the US. So the idea of establishing a UK holding company where we have a lot of recent changes in UK tax legislation, such as the patent box and such as R&D tax credits, would mean that they would be paying a lot less tax on that money if they had a UK holding company.
Okay, so things should be clearer by the end of the month. Yeah. Martin Postle, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Good evening. First tonight, the multi-billion-pound deal that could have big implications for our region's economy. Earlier this week, the American pharmaceutical giant Pfizer announced it was interested in taking over AstraZeneca, which is in the process of building a £300 million research centre at the Cambridge Biomedical campus. Today, the city's MP urged the government to ensure that the development will go ahead, whatever the outcome. Pfizer has its sights set on AstraZeneca because of its research into potentially valuable new drugs. Ben Bland reports. Well, earlier I spoke to Martin Postle, Director of Cambridge Healthcare and Biotech. He advises companies both here and abroad. I began by asking him what impact the takeover could have on AstraZeneca's plans to relocate its research and development to Cambridge.
Well, obviously nobody knows yet because we can't read Pfizer's mind. But if I was going to speculate, I would say that Cambridge as a research centre is as attractive to Pfizer as it is to any major pharmaceutical company. In fact, Pfizer already have a research group in Cambridge, and it's the only research group they have outside North America.
But if AstraZeneca were brought out and Pfizer decided that they didn't want a site here, what would that mean for jobs?
Whether Pfizer would want the same size of operation here as AstraZeneca are planning, but I would have thought that AstraZeneca have already looked quite critically at how many jobs they really need, and those would be the people that would be coming down to Cambridge. It may not have as big an impact as people in Cambridge and AstraZeneca are worried about at the moment.
Now, the biomedical campus itself is a highly attractive prospect to any biotech company. Do you think this is an extra added attraction for Pfizer?
It should be. I mean, particularly the links that AstraZeneca have on the campus with the MRC, one of the leading research groups in the world. Add to that the fact that Cancer Research UK is there and it's one of the leading teaching hospitals. It's a great place to be.
And what happens next?
Well, my understanding is that Pfizer have until the 26th of May to kind of put up or shut up as far as a bid is concerned under UK stock market rules. If they haven't done it by then they're too late.